Hey ya folks! Today we're going to start making our paper weaving to make a little rug for our kitty cat to sit on later. We'll talk about the kitty cat later. Let's focus on the rug. We're going to create something called a loom, and we're going to weave something called the weft through the loom. You will need any color piece of construction paper you prefer. I chose bright green. You'll also need a pencil to write your name on it, and scissors to cut out the warp out of the loom. And then you'll need beautiful painted paper strips like this to act as the weft. We're gonna take our weaving one step at a time. Doesn't that sound nice? Step 1, let's make the loom. We're going to use our construction paper to create the loom. We need your name and code written on it with a pencil. Again, you can always add a cute little decoration if you want to. And then flip that paper over to put it on the back. You won't be needing the pencil anymore, but you will need the scissors in a minute. To make the loom, take your paper and fold it hamburger style. Match up the edges and then crease the fold. Now, this way, the long skinny way to fold your paper is called the hot dog way. We don't want the loom to go that way. We want to make sure that we fold it hamburger style in half, which makes a shorter, fatter rectangle. Kind of like how a hamburger is shorter and fatter than a hot dog, right? That's where the name comes from. So anyways, fold your paper hamburger style. Now there are two sides to this hamburger. There's an open side, and there is what I call a closed side. See the difference? The closed side is where we're going to cut strips into the loom to create something called the warp strings. But first, we need to make something called a stop line. Put your paper with the open end at the top, see? Closed end at the bottom, open end at the top. And take the top paper and fold it down about the width of a finger. This does not have to be perfect. This is what I call an estimation. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine, but pretty close to the width of a finger. Do you see how that fold created a line? That is our stop line for the scissors. When we go in here and we cut the closed side, we are going to stop at the stop line. It's very important to be able to see and have a stop line. Okay, now it's time to make our first cut into our loom. We need to find the bottom middle. Is this the bottom middle? Nope, that's the side. Is this the bottom middle? Nope, that's the top. Is this the bottom middle? Yes, it's on the bottom with the closed side of the hamburger, and it's in the middle. That's when we know. We take our scissors, we place it in the bottom middle, and cut up to the stop line. Right there. Stop there. Your paper will almost be in half, but it won't be. It's still all together, and it looks like two little stumpy legs, doesn't it? Now we need to make these two stumpy legs into 4 equal stumpy legs. So we're going to take the 2 legs on either side and cut them in half, stopping at the stop line. Excellent. Now we have 4 little stumpy legs, don't we? We took 1 and we cut it into 2. And then we took both of those 2 and we cut those into 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Now we need 8 little legs. So we're gonna take these 4 legs and cut them in half. That's gonna multiply our little legs by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yay, we've done it. We created 8 warp strings into our loom. This whole piece of paper is called a loom. Each of the individual strips of paper that go vertically are called the warp. We're going to take beautiful painted paper and weave under and over the warp strings to create the weft. So now you have your loom. Even though it's all cut up with warp strings, you can still see your name and code. It's time to take the painted papers to become our weft. So, to weave our weft, you can start going right to left. I recommend that if you're right-handed, or you can weave from left to right. If you're a left-handed person, you might want to do it that way. I am a right-handed person, so I'm going to come in from the right-hand side, and I'm going to weave this piece of paper through the strips. The pattern goes under, over. See how the blue paper went under the strip and then over the next strip. So let's see, under, over, under would be the next step. Under, over, under, over. Oops. I have to make the weft paper go over the next one. So under, over, under would be next. Over the next one. Under the very next one, and then over the last one. Okay, do you see how it's making already a checkerboard pattern? Under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. It's good to check and double check each time that you weave a new paper in. I'm gonna pick this crazy polka dotted yellow paper for my next weft string, but this time I actually need to start by going over the first warp string. So remember that blue piece of paper that I'm touching right now, I started under with that one. So this needs to create a pattern too. The next strip of paper that I'm using right now, the polka dotted one, needs to start by going over this time. So over, under, over, under, until I reach the end. Ah, she is so beautiful. I think I got my pattern right. Now I need to slide my weft string down and push them down so that I can fit as many wefts in as I can. Now I want to show you really quick what happens if you don't remember to start each new piece of paper with the over-under pattern. So this is the way I'm supposed to start my next paper. Since the yellow polka dotted paper started over the warp strings, I need to start the purple paper under to create that pattern. If I don't, look what happens. If I accidentally copy the yellow polka dotted paper and I start over, when I slide the paper down, it's gonna be hiding. You won't be able to see it. So you'll pretty quickly be able to tell if you made that mistake. The good thing is that it's very easy to fix. All you have to do is pull out the strip of paper, make everything else neat and tidy. I've got to fix the end of the yellow paper here and tuck it down and just try it the right way again. So the yellow polka dot paper, the first thing I wove was over. So this next one needs to go under to start with the pattern. So under, over, under, over. Don't forget, after you weave in the new paper, take a minute to scooch it down as far as it can go. I'm gonna keep weaving in new weft papers until my whole loom is filled up. So now you can really see the pattern that I'm talking about on the sides. We started with the blue paper under. The polka dot paper started over. The purple paper then started under. So this new golden looking paper needs to start over. Under, over, under, over. And then make sure you tuck it down to make your weaving nice and tight. Once we're all done, we're gonna glue the strips down so that they stay. But for now, I am just gonna speed things up a little bit and get this weaving over with. I wanted to pause a minute and just show you what happened to my weaving. Weaving can be hard. Weaving can be frustrating. But we just need to remember that you are brilliant and you will learn how to do this. And if you make a mistake and you mess it up, just ask a friend to help you, ask me to help you, or try to solve it on your own. But you can do it. You need to accept the mistakes that are going to happen and take a deep breath, slow down, take a look at what happened, and try to fix it from there. So that's exactly what I did here, making a big old mess of my weaving. I just took a deep breath. I took a look at what went wrong, and now I am going to fix it. So everything's looking a lot better now that I calmed down and slowed down. But I noticed that the side of my weaving is all messed up. So I'm gonna go back in and I'm just gonna make sure that I have that over-under pattern down the side. Okay, good news, the weaving part is done. But now I need some glue, I almost forgot. So there it is, made it magically appear. And we need to glue down the little flippy flappies down the sides of our weaving. So check this out. Unless we glue it down, these paper weft strings are gonna slide right out of there. So we need to go down both sides of our weaving and glue these down. Next, flip over your entire weaving and do it on the back side. Our weaving is looking absolutely, utterly gorgeous. Now it's time to make it even more comfy for a kitty cat to lay on. Remember, we'll talk about the kitty cats later. For now, focus on the rug. We're gonna need some yarn pieces and a hole punch to share with your shoulder partner. So the hole punch works like this. It kind of looks like a little alligator, doesn't it? Can you see the eye and the mouth? Well, we take the alligator mouth and we chomp little holes underneath all of the squares along the bottom. Hole punchers create these fun little dots. You can take them and recycle them, or you could take them home and turn them into something if you wanted. Now it's time to spin this around to do the bottom edge. Now we have holes on the top of our rug and on the bottom of our rug, and we get to pick whatever color pieces of yarn we want to tie them around the holes. These are called tassels. Have you ever seen a rug with tassels? Maybe in Aladdin? Aladdin's rug only had 4 tassels, 1 on each corner. We're gonna have about 16 tassels. So here's how I like to tie them on. I like to put the end of the string through the hole, and then tie it into a double knot. It's the first step of tying your shoes, but you do it twice. That way it doesn't slip off of your rug. Your cat will not like that, so double knot it. This takes a long time, longer than you'd think, so let's use a little bit of magic to speed it up. Holy cats, this rug is just absolutely beautiful. I love the painted paper. I love the colors I used. I love that you can still see my name and code on the back of it. It's ready to put a cat on it. Let's talk about that later.